Question number one. Do you think Jon Jones would rather fight a different heavyweight besides Francis? And why is Jon Jones scared to fight Francis? I don't think he's scared to fight Francis. I mean, he's kind of willed he's willed this fight into existence on social media. I just think he wants to get paid. And how can you blame the guy? You know, he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. If anybody deserves to move up a weight class and go straight for the title, it's Jon Jones. So the fact that he's going for the big, scary Ngannou, who's not even a champion, you got to give Jon Jones a lot of credit for that. He just wants to get paid. It is a super fight. You know, we've all been asking these questions. What if, you know, Jon Jones moved up to heavyweight? What would that be like? And for him to want to take on the biggest, strongest, most devastating knockout artist in the division in Francis Ngannou, especially a streaking Francis Ngannou. I mean, the run he's on, 4 straight first round knockouts, it's incredible. In a combined maybe 2.5 minutes or something like that. So I definitely don't think Jon Jones is scared to fight Francis Ngannou. He just wants to get paid, and he's disappointed with the UFC that they weren't willing to treat that like a super fight, and I don't blame him. What is next for Tony Ferguson? Should he fight Conor, and the winner of that fight, Justin Gaethje and Habib? I think as things stand right now, maybe Habib won't be returning anytime soon. You know, his father's ill. God willing, he pulls through, but I just see Habib taking some time off. That being said, you know, Habib initially wanted to return by July, if not September. I think that's not going to happen right now. Maybe end of the year, only he can answer that question. So that being said, you know, I see Justin Gaethje potentially defending his interim title against Conor. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. And if so, I think Tony Ferguson versus Dustin Poirier would be a great fight, and a fight that makes a lot of sense. What's next for Gamebred? I like him with Conor. It's a big money fight, but Usman and Colby in the mix. I agree, you know, he's got a lot of options. But honestly, I'd love to see Gamebred fight Kamaru Usman. I just think it's a fight to make. He's enjoying his best run of his career. He's more than earned the title shot. 3 finishes in a row. He's become a massive superstar. He's had some back and forth with Kamaru as well. So it would make an intriguing fight in terms of the build-up. We won't get press conferences and everything, of course, but the build-up would be a lot of fun. But I just think, you know, stylistically, it's a very interesting fight. You know, Jorge is a very underrated grappler, and it's no secret that Usman will probably try to wrestle him because that'd give the striking advantage to Jorge. But yeah, I'd love to see how Jorge would handle Usman's grappling, and if he can stop it, what would happen on the feet. All right, the next question. Who do you think Yoel Romero should fight next, and do you think another run at the title is possible for him? You know what? It's tough because his fight with Adesanya was disappointing in many different ways. It was just a weird fight overall. You know, some people put the blame on Yoel. Some people put the blame on Adesanya for not being willing to engage. Some people look at it as this could have been, or might as well have been, Yoel's last shot at a title, and he didn't kind of like go get it. It was just a weird fight, but I still think Yoel has a lot left in him. It's a crazy times. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he got that title shot off of a loss because Adesanya wanted to fight him. So it's a crazy business. We're seeing Cejudo fight guys off of losses as well. So who knows? But I do still think he has a lot left in him. Matchups with Jacare or Uriah Hall make sense. I mean, Uriah Hall expressed interest in fighting Yoel after his fight with Jacare fell through. And I had spoken to Jacare not too long ago before his fight with Uriah action. He said he'd love to run things back with Yoel down the line. So I think both of those fights make sense. The next question, do you think Habib will fight in 2020? I feel like he may be done fighting. What is your opinion? Thank you. I love your work. Proud to see an Arab doing big things. I really appreciate that comment. Thank you very much. You know what? It's tough. Like I said before, it's tough for me to tell whether Habib is going to fight this year or not. You know, his father's ill. He's his mentor. He's his coach. I don't see him being comfortable with getting back in there. Again, I might be wrong. Only Habib can answer that question, but it's just a tough time for Habib and his family, and I think we need to give him the benefit of doubt for that. I think for the time being, it's going to be tough to tell whether Habib's going to fight in 2020 or not. If he does, I see it happening late in the year. Like I mentioned previously, if that happens, then I think that Gaethje will probably fight Conor.